Okay, from this week's Torah Parsha, actually we read two Torah Parshas, Parashat Matot and Parashat Masei, and by this we're finishing the fourth book of Bamidbar, of Numbers. Next finishing of a book will be Simchat Torah. The next book going to lead us all the way to Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Simchat Torah. There's one story in this Torah Parsha that really, I think, has an amazing message, especially to us, people who live outside of Israel. Even though the whole Parsha, the whole book is really about the Jewish people entering the land of Israel, but there's a message, a very powerful message, interesting story, and something that we could all learn from it. So the Jewish people about to enter the land of Israel, and then there is a problem. Two tribes, the Shevet Gad, the tribe of Gad, and the tribe of Reuven, they come to Moshe and said, listen, we have a problem. We have a lot of animals, sheep and goats and whatever they had at the time. And we are right outside of Israel, what today many people believe it's around the Golan Heights. The Golan Heights is not, part of the Golan Heights is not really from the original land of Israel, Canaan. It's outside of Israel. It's the other side of the river. Yeah, the famous river. This is the river, the Jordan River. The eastern side of the river. They didn't yet enter to the western side of the river. And they said we have such a big, so many animals, so we need a place with a lot of grass, place that will be good for them, and therefore we want to stay. Moshe, it seems like from the parsha, got very upset. Said, "What do you mean?" We'll see soon what he was upset about. But the question is it really possible? The Jewish people came out from Egypt, was ready to go to the land of Israel. They did the sin of the golden calf, the sin of the meraglim, of the spies. They have such a desire to go to the land of Israel. There's even groups who try to go on their own and they were killed. And then all of a sudden they're just like this, close by to the land of Israel, and they said, I'm sorry, we want to stay. The biggest punishment to Moshe was that he's not going to enter to the land of Israel. And besides also this story of, for the animals, the Torah promised them, the land of Israel is Eretz, Zavat, Chalav Udvash, the most beautiful, fruitful land. So what's the whole story? But we see that even Moshe, when Moshe actually rebuked them, when Moshe screamed at them, he didn't say, why you don't want to go to the land of Israel. That's not what he said. He didn't even say, how could you not want to go to the land of Israel? There's so many mitzvot, so many commandments that technically you could do only in the land of Israel. You're going to miss all those mitzvahs. This is the promised land. The whole story, we took you out of Egypt, is that eventually to be in Israel, to have the Holy Temple, and you're now going to be outside of Israel, in the diaspora. So Moshe didn't ask not about how come you don't care about Israel. He didn't say, oh, you don't want to do the mitzvahs that you could do only in the land of Israel. To live in a holy land, it seemed like that didn't bother him. Moshe, what's bothering Moshe is one question, which is a very powerful question, screaming. In Hebrew he said, "Achechem yetzu lemilchama ve'atem teishvu po." He said, what do you mean? How could you settle here while your brothers are going to go to the army? They're going to go to the war. They're going to go to conquer the land of Israel. There were 7 nations there. It's going to be a terrible war. You're going to sit quietly, comfortably, while your brothers are going to do the war? Which is an amazing question. It's an amazing request. And that's why the tribes respond to Moshe. They said, no, that's not what we meant. We meant we're going to go to the war. We're going to leave our families here. We're going to go to help our brothers and sisters at the land of Israel with the war to conquer the land of Israel. And then we're going to come back and we're going to settle there. And that's Moshe was okay with. And he actually made an agreement with them to swear that they're actually going to go to the war together with their brothers, and then they're going to come down and settle. And Moshe was okay with that and very happy. The question is, really? Really? It's all about the war. What's about living in the land of Israel? And what's the message that they all want to tell us? Isn't it that we should all live in the land of Israel? And it seemed like that wasn't a sin. Not at all. The only thing that Moshe thought, maybe they don't want to fight, they don't want to be together with their brothers and sisters. And the question, I think this is the answer. It's actually a message. The Torah maybe tell us, not all Jews all time going to live in the land of Israel. This is the reality. Till the time of Messiah or Mashiach, we're going to live. Some people live in Yulet, some people live in Yulet Harbor, and other places outside of Israel, in Israel, all around the world. The Torah specifically telling us the story. Obviously, there's a major mitzvah to live in the land of Israel. There are so many mitzvahs that you fulfill when you're in the holy land of Israel. It says even if you walk 4 cubes, about 4 feet, you're fulfilling a mitzvah. To breathe the land of Israel, it says Avira Machkim, the land of Israel, just the air make you smart. To eat the fruit, you have special mitzvahs you do with the fruit, special blessings, endless of things. It's a completely different life. This is the real life. But at the same time, you got to know that even if you're not in the land of Israel, there's 2 major things that you need to know. You're still Jewish. You're still fulfilling what Hashem wants for you, even if you're not in the land of Israel. And 2 major lessons from this story that for us, the people who live outside of Israel, we have to keep it in mind every single day. 2 lessons. So again, Moshe, we see from the story, very simple, very, very simple. Moshe was not upset that they don't want to live in the land of Israel. They had a reason. They had the reason, and that was the reason they need to live in the land of Israel. And even according to the Jewish law, there have few reasons why you could live outside of Israel. One of them, if you have no way to provide your family food, you have to go out and find a better place to live. But 2 important lessons that Moshe telling them. Number 1, we just mentioned, caring for your brothers and sisters. It's impossible that you're going to sit comfortable and your brothers are fighting for their life. This is not okay. And it's not true only about the people in Israel. He didn't say, and your brothers in Israel are going to fight. Any Jew around the world suffering, you have to be there with them. Support them, go to war with them, go to support their war, help them. The first time the Jewish people, so to speak, building communities outside of Israel. And the lesson is, you must feel connected. When we hear about a war in Israel, the fact that we don't live in Israel should not be less caring about it than somebody who actually live in Israel. And the truth is not only about Israel. When you hear about a family in Ukraine, Jewish family in Ukraine, right, that's suffering, we should feel it's our family, our mishpacha. The same is in Russia or in Uganda or wherever they live. When we hear about the terror attack in Sydney, Australia, it's not that we just read about it like there was a terror attack a few years ago in France. It's our family. No matter where we live, the first and the most important lesson Moshe tells the Jewish people, the 2.5 tribes, but really us, you don't live in Israel, it's okay. But don't lose the feeling of one family. If the news about the stock market or sports less important to you than a soldier who died in Lebanon, there's a problem. You gotta figure out what's going on. The foundation needs to be those are your brothers. Forget where, in Israel or elsewhere. Every Jew, even if you don't live in the land of Israel, You Jewish, this is your brothers and sisters. And this is something that you must live it day and night. And you must give it to your children and grandchildren. And I think one of the things that maybe we're missing over here and outside in America and other places is the feeling of the connection. The fact that we have Jews who care more about the political party or whatever, more than are they good for our brothers and sisters in Israel? This question number one. Not because I'm less American, because this is my brother. This is my, if I would have a son in Israel, I would care. So even if I don't know anybody in Israel, but he's Jewish, I'm Jewish. Those are my brothers. So Moshe tell the Jewish people, if you have to live outside of Israel, it's perfect. It's okay. You flourish. You could do all the other mitzvahs. But remember, this is your brothers. And their war, it's your war. And you carrying, it's not politics and it's not about general thing. This is your family. And this is what we need to live with. And we must teach our kids. And this is, when people say, oh, you have Jews against this. This is the question. When they wake up in the morning, they think about my brothers. Forget about only in Israel. What's about the brothers in Morocco? Anywhere in the world. When you pass by, you're in Italy, and you see another Jew. Do you feel something in your heart touching you? This is, family. Or is he, or somebody who is not Jewish, just supporting the same, both of you the same fan of the same sports? Who do you feel closer to? And it's something that you could do. If Moshe told the Jewish people that they should do it, that we could do it. It's just practicing, talking about it, living with it, being part of the community, being part of the Chabad house. This is number one, most important. Number two, this is a general lesson, not only about Jewish. When the Jewish people, when those two tribes came to Moshe and said, we want to stay here, Moshe said, how could you do it when you brought it? So they said, no. We're going to come here outside of Israel. We're going to build places for our cattle. That's how you pronounce it, cattle? The cattle. And for our children. Then we're going to go to war. Moshe said, okay. But when Moshe repeated what they say, he changed the order. He said, okay, so build a place for your children and for your cattle. And the message was very simple. Even though you're outside of Israel for what? For business. Why are you not going to Israel? Because he said, I cannot provide myself to my family in money. I have to stand outside of Israel. This is okay. But don't forget what's the most important. Business doesn't come before children. Children always come before everything. Anything. So Moshe changed the order. When he told him, okay, you could build your life over here. He said, first build your family, then your cattle, meaning what's the order? Order, the most important thing is your family. Maybe you have to work very hard. Maybe you're very busy. Maybe everything but what's the most important is your children. And this is something that, unfortunately, more and more people have challenged with this. Not so much with business. With the phone that we have, with all the destruction that we have, so we don't even have the time. We're, so to speak, busy, and we're doing so many things. And the kids want from us our attention, 5 minutes, 1 minute. Just be with us. So this is a general rule and general lesson that Moshe said. Nothing is more important than children, than family. This is the most important. There was this video going around, and you see that a young kid come to his father while he's on his phone, and he touched him, and he said, Daddy. He said, one second, I must do this email. And he said, here, I have $5. He said, what is it? He said, here, could I give you $5 and you'll be with me for a minute? If this is all what you care, that's what our kids want. The kids want from us the attention. And Moshe tell us, thousands of years ago, this lesson that for us, Today, in our day, maybe more important than before. So this is a general lesson. Family, your children and grandchildren, this is the most important thing before business, before money, before anything else. But here is the message specifically for people who live outside of Israel. Moshe told the Jewish people, you're going outside of Israel, it's going to be a challenge. The challenge will be your children. How to keep their Judaism alive. So to speak, when you're in Israel, of course, there's many, many challenges, even in Israel, in Judaism and everything. But automatically you live in a Jewish place, in a Jewish homeland. So automatically a kids who are born in Israel is Israelis, already feel it, even if you do nothing. But when you live outside of Israel, that's not going to happen. If you're not actively going to make sure your children will stay Jewish, they're not going to stay Jewish. That's what Moshe means. So if your business is very important, great. Only if the children are more important than that. And this is a message that really should wake us up, and we'll go to sleep with this. What do we do for our children and grandchildren on the next generation to stay Jewish? You know, we are focusing now very much on the program called the Jewish Kids Club of Yulit, the Chabad. We have, and it's always, it's those two things really in my mind. There's many other places people go. Some people have the kids busy with sports. Some people have different Hebrew schools, which is fine. But those two things, number one, the feeling of connection to the Jewish people. It's not enough that I go to Hebrew school. Some kids go to French school. I don't know if there's such a thing, but the sports school, whatever. Therefore, I connected to the people in French. No, I learn Hebrew, so I learn about this. We in our Chabadas, we have a program, and we have a place, and we have something that actually, besides learning, it's making them feeling the connection. They are part of the Jewish community. So the chances that when they're going to grow up, they're going to go against Israel or against the Jewish people are hopefully smaller. This is why I really want every Jew, especially if the kids are going to public school from Greater Yulit, to come to this program. They're not only going to learn about Judaism, they're going to feel this is their nation. This is their people, and they're happy about it, and they feel good about it, and they're excited about it. So this is number one. And number two, this lesson, that the children come first, and you must teach them, and you must make them more involved, and more involved, and more involved. So if you know anybody, or if your own children are in the age of 4 to 13, bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, make sure they come into the Jewish Kids Club of Yulit. If you have friends, neighbors, you meet somebody in a supermarket, your friend, anybody, and they have children that age, please make sure they're coming now. We have the building, we could give it. So in a sense, the continuation of the 2.5 tribes, we're going to say like them. We're not running away from the war, not the physical war. We're supporting our brothers and sisters in Israel. We're thinking about every Jew, no matter where they are, like our family. And number two, we're investing in our children more than in our business. So this is something that a message from this week's Torah Parsha, and when we'll finish this Torah Parsha this Shabbat, and I hope to see you all, we're going to conclude Chazak. We need Chazak. We'll be strong and even stronger, or as we say in Yulit, from strength to strength. Have a wonderful day. Chazak.